looking kind of lonely. I'm feeling horny. Put the dick in the middle like Moni. Big thick plumber chick. And a hummer chick. Beat the dick like a motherfucking drummer chick. See that putty cat? Look at that. I love a fucking hoodie rat. That's a fact. Welcome to the Guy and Harley podcast. I'm Guy Bigden.
And I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along. That was an excerpt from Guy's diary.
That I've been writing to myself.
He's been writing, yeah.
While my girlfriend has been away.
Yep.
That is from, some of you might recognize those classic lyrics from Back That Ass Up by Juvenile.
All right. Yeah. So, we're back. Despite what people thought might have happened.
Bet you all didn't think that would happen.
Twist ending, motherfuckers.
Surprise.
We're back.
It was all an elaborate YouTube
stunt.
Yeah.
Don't say that. They'll actually believe it. They will. Because sometimes people ask me, they go, well, you know how you have like the Great Debate? Like, come on. The original Great Debate was episode 71. And the second Great Debate, the Great Debate 2, was episode 142, exactly 71 episodes later. And it is a little suspicious. And Liam was like, well, I'm pretty sure it was Liam, Sifty One 50 Listener, Liam Hegarty. He was like, what did he say?
I don't know. You were the one that spoke with him.
I don't know.
Well, look, what I'll say is this is...
yeah. You go.
There will always be conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people out there who think that we didn't land on the moon and that 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, Liam asked. I can't remember exactly how he said
it was an inside job.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, did you guys set this up or what?" But I was like, "No, fucking hell, you couldn't pay me to do that.
You couldn't. Yeah.
It was just horrible. These fighting episodes, they stress a motherfucker out.
Very stressful.
Very stressful. But you know, that's this is a filmmaking podcast.
It's a podcast about our lives.
So welcome back to the 70-55, the Sifty 75, because we've lost half of our listeners.
Oh, I've had nothing but good reviews, to be honest.
Yeah, well, to be honest,
in a fucked up way, I've had nothing but good reviews.
Well, me too, man. That is the thing, and it's like
that's what's disturbing.
It's what we've become is car crash reality television.
Yes.
That's what this show has become. As our lives just spiral out of control, people tune in. They're like, "Well, I've got to see this friendship implode. I've just got to see it.
Yeah, I've
got to tune in live on the Twitch."
It's like, guys, check this out. Listen to a death of a friendship. Just listen to it. It's really quite compelling stuff.
Yeah. Well, after our 3-hour-long podcast, which ended at midnight, Swan Song, as it was called, we continued on and had another 3-hour conversation, which covered a lot of similar but different and all kind of related sort of topics. None of them super serious by themselves, but perhaps when left to fester can kind of explode up live on the Guy and Harley podcast
for 3 hours.
But as at the end of the night, as Guy walked out, I walked Guy out. We got out there, and in the moonlight, we had a long and manly embrace. And as Guy left, he said, "I think we're in a better place now." Which I think is true. I think that we needed that. I think that every now and then you've just got to fly off the fucking handle. You know? Personally, I wanted to fly off the handle in a sanctioned Pigville meeting.
Yeah.
But you know, instead it happened on the live stream with my colleagues, two of my colleagues watching and commenting live on the live stream, which I think we can agree is the worst possible scenario.
Watching two grown men cry.
Yeah. Oh, it was all there. You want to talk about car crash reality TV? It was screaming, crying, white wine in each other's faces. It was all there. It was all there. But yes, anyway, so listen. I love you, Guy Pigden. It's you. It's always been you. So I'm sorry for anything hurtful or painful that I might have said on that show. I
Well,
apologize.
I appreciate that, bro, and I think it's safe to say that, well, I love you too. God damn it. Oh.
It's a relief-gasm.
That was
It was a love-gasm.
That was a little reference to the end of Disgusting Hairy Man.
Yes.
I was harking back to the
One for the
final
hardcores.
moment of Disgusting Hairy Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that's out of the way.
that's good. We've done that. Now, I actually, for the first time ever, I did consider not uploading the episode.
I thought you weren't going to.
Yeah.
I was convinced when I walked out. I was like, he's not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, not only did I do it, not only did I not want to do it, but did it. Now, I didn't want to do it because I just felt like it was too raw, and that was the feedback I was getting from everybody. Was like, shit. The words they were using were like brutal, raw. That type of thing. That was the type of feedback.
Yes. Well,
and they're like, why would they allow that? Like,
why would you do that?
Why would you keep the camera on?
If it's not an inside job,
yeah.
Why would you? Why would you?
Exactly.
Why would you not stop?
Why would
the
you
cameras?
keep the camera on? And then,
I forgot the camera was on. To be perfectly honest, I thought you only were going to hear a grown man cry. I didn't expect you to see a grown man cry.
Not only did they see it live on the show, but they also saw it later on YouTube, where it also goes. There's the Guy and Harley podcast on YouTube. Go find us and subscribe. That'd be great. So it goes there. But then I also reran it twice as part of a playlist on Twitch. And someone at work was like, and then why would they rerun it? So, yeah.
Well, there's a saying in show business. Controversy creates cash.
Well, let's see if that's true, because I've just launched a new graphic up the top here on the Twitch live stream. It says Operation Go Pro, and the idea here is to start drumming up a bit more money to put into an account called the Pigville account, which we can then start paying Guy. Like the dream scenario is we get say a few $1,000s in there. A couple of $1,000s, say, and then you go, well, shit, you break that up to $20 an hour, and so we could say pay Guy every Monday for 3 months to do 8 hours work at $20 an hour every Monday. And then he doesn't have to go to his other job. And Monday is Pigville Day, where it's Imi the Vegan editing, or it's writing the family, or it's doing older stuff, whatever it is. That's the idea. So we got our first little bit of it the other day because we got paid for from No Caller ID, which was available on TVNZ on demand, and we got a cool 60 big ones in our bank for that.
Oh yes.
So hey, that's 3 hours of Operation Go Pro. So we're off to a good start here. So yes, anyway, if people want to cash up our controversy, they can do so by donating below on the live stream or going to patreon.com/Pigville. This commercial break was brought to you by Harley Neville.
Surprisingly, the Get a Fleshlight Fund didn't really take off.
Didn't tickle people's fancy
in the same way.
Yeah, maybe it was because we said we could only afford one, so we'd have to share it.
Yeah. Well, yes. So a little bit of feedback
It is weird to spoon a vagina in a can afterwards. By the way, even if you have just ejaculated in it, it's very weird.
Was it also weird to cry onto it?
Yeah. Oh, it's all weird. When we're talking about vaginas in cans, it's all weird. There's nothing not weird about it.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's something more tasteful about a dildo somehow.
I know. You get a woman up here, nobody bats an eyelid. But
as soon as you start sleeping with a vagina in a can,
I'm fucking a fake vagina, and suddenly I'm a weird pervert, and I should get off the bus.
Classic humour. Classic Pigville humour there. Yeah, well, just some quick feedback.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about brutal and raw.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend said that she cried.
She cried
on the way home on the tube
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah. She's a hardened inner city Londoner
And
who walks past all sorts of shit every day on the street, and she's crying on the tube because of us.
Just tears.
That's beautiful.
Streaming down her face.
That's beautiful.
Richard, our friend,
brought her to tears.
Who's also over in England.
Yeah. Well, they don't build them like they used to.
Who was in our Harrow.
Mm-hmm.
Harrow. He was in that, and he said that it was like in wrestling when the Mega Powers exploded.
Yeah.
The Mega Powers being the Macho Man Randy Savage.
I'm well aware of who the Mega Powers are.
And Hulk Hogan, just for the listeners.
Oh, of course.
For the listeners' sake.
The listeners don't know as much about wrestling as I do.
And that you were the Macho Man and I was Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah. Oh look, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well,
I'm cool with being the Macho Man.
The difference with I'd prefer to be Macho Man from a wrestling point of view.
Yeah.
But like their issue was surrounding Miss Liz.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah.
There was a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah.
Hulk seemed like he lifted her up, and then Randy thought that as he lifted her up, he looked at her with lust in his eye.
Yeah.
And then he may have touched her bottom as he lifted her victoriously onto their shoulders at one point.
Yeah.
There was a lot of miscommunication because they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
This fester to build up.
Yeah.
Until it exploded and he attacked him. Culminating
So
in...
who attacked who?
Macho Man attacked the Hulk. The Hulkster.
Yeah, so I'm the aggressor.
Yes.
Right.
In this instance, yes.
Yeah.
But he also didn't. He didn't believe the Hulkster when Hulk said that he loved Miss Liz, but he loved her like a sister, brother.
Yeah,
like my own sister, brother.
Yeah.
So he didn't buy that.
Yeah.
It was lust in your eye, Hulk Hogan.
The wrestlers will be loving this episode. Cookie will be loving this. Cookie is going to be stoked about all this wrestling references so early in the show.
You're a liar, Hulk Hogan. Anyway.
Well, you got more feedback there?
Oh, well, he also did say that you were gaslighting me.
Oh yeah,
because I couldn't really get a word in a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah. It's difficult to get wrong words in there. I'm with you. I was gaslighting then. No. So, the feedback I heard was that we both seemed drunk. This is what a couple of people said. They were like,
totally sober.
Yeah, well, Guy had 2 beers and I had 3 beers over the course of 3 hours. So, and we're, that's pretty sober. And
Stone
then
cold sober.
After when I said about not uploading this episode for the first time ever, when I said it to you, Guy goes, well, people love this shit. If nothing else, it's real. And I was like, yep. Well, you know what? That was actually the point that I changed my mind because I was like, well, that is what this show is, right? It's a filmmaking podcast.
It's a podcast about our lives.
It's a show about love, life, and loss, and the pursuit of filmmaking glory.
Yes.
And this, if you can't cut out the lows and don't only show the highs, people won't be, invested.
Not only that, if you have to cut out the lows and only show the highs, we're going to be doing we're going to be doing a podcast once every year.
Well, yeah.
So
this is what the show's about.
So
you
really,
can't cut it.
So that would really create some problems for us. If that's the narrative we wanted to maintain.
So not only did I upload it despite not really wanting to, I also actually, because it was 3 hours long, I had to pay for extra storage, which I actually ended up paying like $30-something to get this extra storage to upload this thing, because it turned out the file was bigger than our total monthly allowance that we currently pay for.
Just one file.
And it was too big to compress. Like all the compressing websites said it was too big. So I was like, fuck. So I had to spend like $20 I think it was, to upload something that I didn't even really want to upload. But yeah, anyway, a Bucka Show. Patreon.com/Pigville.
Richard also did suggest that it could go viral.
Yeah.
So
why?
if you feel like, like you said, car crash television.
Yeah.
So if you want to help it go viral, you can obviously share that show.
Well, it's true. I mean, I better if you shared one of the good ones.
Well, you say that,
but you know, that's the thing that people do get invested. I mean, people are crying on trains over this shit.
Yeah.
I was worried about Jamie Oxley deep in the outback because, you know, everyone else has the option of sort of turning it off and walking away, but he's trapped in the cab, you know, driving in the middle of nowhere, and I had a horrible vision of him just catapulting himself out of the cabin to escape us, you know. So shout out Jamie Oxley. One thing we haven't really considered with this whole putting our whole lives on the bloody show thing is,
oh boy,
is that,
there's so much we haven't considered.
Well, yeah, one of the big ones that occurred to me recently was I was like, okay, but what if we actually got what we wanted, you know? And it turned out to be a poison chalice, you know, because these people suddenly we get a big viral following. All these people are interested in us, and then they come here, and from this 300 bloody hours of podcast or whatever I worked it out to be, you could really piece together a lot about our lives, about who's important to us and what's important to us, and you could also put together things. You could put together a psychological profile on each of us because of this.
Yeah.
This is a show where it's two friends talking, acting like there's nobody else around, but in reality, who knows? You know, it's it's an interesting window into our psychologies.
If we ever get in trouble with the law, without a shadow of a doubt, this will be used against us in the court of law.
As being disreputable characters, basically.
Yeah. So
pressuring the judge to give us a harsher sentence because we're such poor community members based on this podcast.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Spreading fake news,
but
misinformation.
We can absolutely confirm it was 100% real. We're not that good actors. Think about it. Just think this through.
Yeah.
Not that good. Yeah. Well, anything else on that?
Yeah. There was something else. But I'm sure it'll come back to me. It was all related to that. A couple more quick shout outs. I want to shout out to Chuck Black on YouTube. You're the fucking man, Chuck. Chuck Black. But the real question is, how many Chucks could a Chuck Black fuck if a Chuck Black could fuck Chucks? That's what I always wonder whenever he comments on the show. And he did comment on that show, and he said, oh, fuck, this sucks. And I don't think he was saying the show sucks. I think he was saying the end of our friendship sucks.
The demise of our friendship.
And somebody else commented as well, just today it was, and they go, I feel like giving you guys a big hug.
Yeah. Oh, no, I did get a few comments like that,
very
actually.
Nice.
A few people reaching out for the hugs.
Yeah. So that's very nice. Yeah, what else you got?
Well, I actually want to talk a little bit about a piece of news that a while ago you said you had the opportunity to have an audition. Okay?
Yeah.
And you backed out of it.
Yeah, I didn't do the audition.
You didn't want to do the work.
No.
The work was too much.
No. Well, yeah, okay. You can paint it that way. Yeah. Then I'll give them what really happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
The work was too much for you.
Yeah.
The opportunity was not worth it. And I was like, I understand, bro. I was like, these shitty TVC adverts, fuck. Or these these indie films, what a joke. Of course, fuck that. You've got bigger fish to fry, mate. You've got Pigville stuff, you know. You've got way more important things on your mind.
Yeah.
Well, then I found out what the fuck that movie was that you were going to audition for, which you didn't.
Which I was asked to audition for, and the director had selected the people that were to be auditioned. So the director of this film,
right,
big name director, had seen me and selected me for an audition.
Which you politely declined. Let's just fucking think about this for a second. But anyway, now I could be, it's one of these two things, so I got them both, but I'm pretty sure it was too, I don't know how big the role was.
It was one of the lead roles.
Okay, that's even worse than I thought.
My role was acting directly across from. Can I say the name? Do you reckon of the actor?
Of course
is that out there? That information, or we don't even know the name of it, do we?
No, we don't know the name of the movie. So you can talk about it.
But we better not say who the director is.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though it'd be nice.
I don't think I actually remember who the director was. So I only know who you were starring opposite.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna make it worse.
Last name rhymes with champion. Because she's the champion of filmmaking. She's a filmmaking champion.
That's a very obvious hint for anyone that that really wants to work it out.
So
But even just who you were starring opposite,
Yeah.
that makes it worse.
Okay.
Now that I know that, I don't think I knew that at the time.
No, you didn't. Well, I didn't know at the time.
But you did know this at the time, didn't you?
I didn't know who I was acting across from. I
Oh,
found
you-
that out about later.
Oh,
I found
okay.
out about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you didn't know
No,
this.
I didn't have this piece of information.
So you do get sort of a bit of a
slight
pass,
reprieve.
yeah, but who you were starring
Yeah,
opposite?
so I, Harley Neville, was asked to audition for a role acting
Major role.
across from a lead role, acting directly across from
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Humble Dick Bumblewatch.
And do you know? I mean, that's fucking Doctor Strange. That is Doctor Strange.
Speaking of Doctor Strange, I hung out with the writer of Doctor Strange too. I've got Doctor Strange connections everywhere. Cargill, his last name's Cargill.
Yeah, I think I follow him on Twitter.
The Cargill, the writer,
Yes.
the writer of Thing. Yeah,
I think his name's Robert C. Cargill or something like that. maybe?
Yeah. I hung out with him, had dinner with him, sat directly next to him
Jesus Christ.
on Hollywood Boulevard.
That's funny.
Split the bill with him.
That's hilarious. He should have picked it up.
I
He's
wa-
making enough money.
I walked him back to his hotel.
He should have picked up that. He should have picked that up.
Yeah.
He's fucking rich.
Yeah, he probably should have picked it up. They got a funny system over there. I only wanted to buy a bloody drink, and I couldn't just go and pay for a drink. It had to be charged to the table, and then I had to pay cash, and I ended up paying $20 for like one drink. America, sort your tipping system out. Your whole situation, it's all fucked.
But
anyway,
this is without unequivocally speaking
the biggest
the
opportunity of my
biggest
life.
opportunity of your life. Without a shell, like there's not even like, oh well, maybe it was something else. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was this.
it was
this one thing. It all came down to this moment. This was it. This was your fucking Rocky.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of slipped in there. You did your thing. They really
Just came
liked
out of
it.
nowhere.
And you're like, you'd keep getting jobs just based off that job.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you ever got that job,
Yeah.
you'd be fucking set.
Yeah, but I was like, no, I'm not fucking hanging out with Cumberbatch.
You go,
That's not good enough for the Nevs.
I don't want to trade war stories about the Avengers, the highest grossing fucking films in the history of cinema.
I'll be like, look, Ben, I haven't even seen that.
Look, Benny, no offense, mate. Benny, brother, no
I
offense. I
haven't
don't
e-
actually really like Marvel
I haven't
films.
even fucking seen it.
In fact, I would go as far as to say I dislike him. Hope you're not offended as we get into the scene together, which is going to make me a huge, bona fide worldwide star.
Yeah.
Or if not, at least just get me some more good
it'd
roles.
be a huge step up. It'd be an excellent networking opportunity, a chance to work with some
You absolutely
really major industry
unequivocally
professionals
shit
on
the
a
bed.
big show.
Shit the bed to the max. You couldn't shit the bed more if you tried.
Well, look, I did give it a lot of thought at the time. I was like deciding how to do it. But once I had made my decision, and once I stuck to that decision, I didn't look back with regret. I wasn't, and even now, knowing that it was across from Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm looking back with regret for you.
Yeah, right, but I'm not, you see.
With great shame and regret.
Yeah, look. I'll be honest with you. I'll level with you. A younger Harley would have seized that opportunity despite, the odds that I felt I was up against.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. I'm old and jaded, and 99.9% of my acting career is rejection, and I'm 36 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I'm busy. And at that time I was particularly busy, and I was going to have to get to the audition. I think I was going to have to fuck around some employers.
Yes, you
right
were.
when I'm
Yep.
going freelance.
Yep.
I'm a freelancer. So I was going to have to fuck around some employers to do it. But then on top of that, they'd only given me like a few days to learn it. It wasn't
Yep.
like I had 6 weeks to figure it out and get it perfect. It was just like I had like a few days to do it, and I was working like literally every day.
Yep.
And then I was working on the day of the audition, and I was like, okay, so. Here's the thing: it's an American accent. When I first got the script and I said yes to it, I said yes to the audition, and I got the script and I was like, oh yeah, cool. And then I went back to the beginning and I was like, oh hang on a fucking, I can't remember how I figured it out, but basically a few pages in, I was like, well hang on a fucking second, this needs an American accent as well, and I was like, okay, now that's a whole different fucking kettle of fish, because I've got to do an American accent for a big huge scene. And I'm not like I haven't done any acting for quite a while. I haven't done any real acting for quite a while. I've done some American accent courses, but I haven't done them for a long time. I was going to have to, over the next few days, I was going to have to go and see the American accent coach, and I was going to also have to learn all these big scenes, and I was going to have to fuck over some of my employers, which I really didn't want to do because Operation GoPro is relatively new, and I'm establishing myself and concentrating on that. And so yeah, all of those things combined, I was like, look, I just don't have time to do all of this and do it justice. And I'm gonna go in there. I don't really think I'm gonna do a great job under those circumstances. And if I do a bad job and embarrass myself in front of the casting agents because my American accent is so bad, that's actually negative for next time. Like it's not like, oh yeah, they go, whatever, there's just a bad audition. They go, yeah, man, Harley cannot do an American accent if I show up and do a shit American fucking accent.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
So there was a whole bunch of reasons why I didn't do it, and I didn't regret not doing it, basically. Because I didn't think I'd get it. That was the other thing too, was I just didn't see me getting it, being the lead role in this big budget movie. I was like, they're obviously going to cast somebody with a name, not fucking Harley from Dunedin, from the bottom of the world, who with no formal training and in the lead bloody role. You know, I was like, look, this is worth doing just to be seen, just to get in front of them, but only if you can do a passable job that's not just going to actually negatively affect your reputation, with that casting agent and stuff like that. So I got back to my agent and I was like, look, I'd love to, but I'm too busy. I'm sorry, I can't do it justice. I'd rather not audition than do a bad audition.
I'd rather give up this once in a lifetime, 1 in a million chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't know about Humpleback at the time.
But did you know about the director?
Yeah, I knew
being
about the
champion.
Yeah, the champion director.
Oh my god, you didn't tell me that when you told the story.
No, I would have. I absolutely would have.
No, I don't think you're allowed to.
That's the interest. No, obviously I'd tell you who the director was. In fact, I tell, confidentiality be damned. It's not like I keep any secrets from you. You know exactly what the films are.
I know, but I feel like we only discussed it on the podcast.
Right.
Where you did not reveal the director.
No, yeah. Well, I wouldn't have revealed the director, that's true. But I'm pretty sure I told you who it was. But yeah, anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Needless to say, Harley is not being cast in Doctor Strange in the Chamber of Horrors or whatever the new Marvel MCU one. Like he could be after he struck up a great friendship and rapport on set.
Yeah.
And Benny C.
Yeah.
Put in the good word, because obviously it's really not about what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
It's networking and thing. And I just feel like, if anything, that would have made him have even more respect for you.
Is Benedict Cumberbatch the guy from is he in like any of those war movies? Is he in the Turing one, about the computer, or is he in the Stephen Hawking one? Does he play Stephen Hawking? Who plays Stephen Hawking?
No, that's Eddie Redmayne. Who I actually thought could be the other guy. I wasn't sure of those two, because they always get mistaken for each other.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad it was a common mistake.
But he is definitely in a war film. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
And he may even be in a war series as well. And yes, he is, I believe, in the Turing test.
Oh, yeah.
Or Alan Turing or whatever, playing Alan Turing. I believe that's him.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So, just picture, like, so one, you drop this big bombshell on him, first day on set, and he's like, yeah, the old MC royalty checks be coming in, another milli for me.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, well, to be honest, mate, I actually really like those fucking films. I actually kind of think they're shit. And he's like, what? And then you're like, yeah, but I did actually really dig, I'm really a big World War II enthusiast. He goes, oh, well, I actually played Alan Turing. And you're like, Alan Turing, of course, I love that film. Yeah. And then you're off on a tangent that he would much prefer to talk about. Yeah. Because he doesn't want to talk about...
Because he's bored of all that Marvel shit.
He doesn't want to talk about Dr. fucking Strange. Yeah. He doesn't want people greasing his ass about that, because that's what he gets 24/7.
Well,
we loved you. We loved you in Doctor Strange. Yeah. Oh, it was so great. Oh, love your work. Love your work. If anyone says love your work to me, the next person that says it, pow, right in the kisser.
You're going to assault their
I'm going to assault that makeup artist. Yes. Winning.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's that shitty thing you say on set, like, to be cool, it's not cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, you wouldn't have said that. because
No.
you didn't love his work.
Well, this reminds me of the time that I hung out. Now, unfortunately,
This is an alternate reality. And talking about Doctor Strange, which is full of alternate realities, this to me is a real probable alternate reality.
What you just described then actually happened to me, because I hung out with this guy who is an American actor who is in a big American TV show, like it's called but I don't know what I think it's like got vampires and stuff, and it's called like Supernatural or it's one of those ones. It's got vampires and stuff in it, and it's like everyone's super beautiful, and they do witchy stuff,
True Blood,
witchy poo stuff. Could have been. I don't think it was that one though. It was worse. It was like
Vampire Diaries.
Well, anyway, whatever it was, this guy, whose name I don't recall, was in also in the Pacific. So he was known for this big vampire show, but he was also in the Pacific, which is as the listeners know, the sequel to Band of Brothers. So he was in that.
No one knows.
And I was so when I saw that he was in that, that's what I was talking to him about all night, and we hung out all night. He probably didn't want to talk about that vampire show. He wanted to talk about
his real work, his real
work.
acting.
Yeah, which is like playing a bloody frontline soldier under the most extreme circumstances imaginable. So
on the
he said the lead in it was a real dick. The lead in the Pacific was a real dick. He didn't get along with him.
Huh. What, the English guy? The ginger?
Like the main guy. The main guy from the Pacific.
Isn't that the main guy from the Pacific? The ginger guy?
I think he's kind of ginger, yeah. I haven't seen it for a while. But yeah, this guy said he was a dick. He didn't get along with him.
Interesting. I'll never watch that to re-find out any of those.
But you've seen it?
The Pacific?
Yeah.
I've seen probably a couple eps.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not as good as Band of Brothers.
Which I've also probably seen a couple of eps.
Band of Brothers should be sat down. You should sit down and watch it right now, start to finish, if you haven't seen it. And you should also go and see Generation War, not to be mixed up with Generation Kill, which is a war thing set in the Middle East, like contemporary American Marines and shit. Generation War is a German version kind of Band of Brothers. You want to go check that out. You got to watch it with subtitles, but it's basically told from a German infantry sort of perspective, and it's fucking badass.
Well,
my war recommendation for you today.
Oh my god, we have a question on the live stream.
Yep. So this is from shout out Bevan.
So it's zombie season on Duke this month. Is I Survived a Zombie Holocaust being featured? Well, the answer, Bevan, is fucking no. It's not.
It depends do we have any type of deal with, is Duke a channel?
So Duke is a sort of a new-ish channel on Freeview.
All right.
And in fact, it actually
sounds like the type of thing I should know about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Especially, we should know about if they are doing zombie season.
You mean in New Zealand?
Yes.
There's a New Zealand channel called Duke, and it's doing a zombie season, and they have not come to the third best zombie film in New Zealand.
What do you mean third best? Do you mean second?
Like Brain Dead.
Yep.
And what's his other one?
Bad Taste.
Bad Taste.
Well, that's Aliens.
Oh, it's Aliens.
So I say second.
Okay, so the second best zombie film to come out of New Zealand, a place known. Oh no, what about Black Sheep?
No, we're above Black Sheep.
Well.
Have you seen Black Sheep recently?
I was in Black Sheep.
Yeah, but have you seen it recently?
No, I only watched it once.
Lovely director, but we're better than that.
The box office begs to differ.
The box office.
It did have a bigger budget.
The box, not only the box office.
Also, we've got
any markers of success.
Our IMDb
would
account
beg to differ for sure.
Our IMDb rating is probably worse than theirs.
Any single marker of success would beg to differ on my statement, but I stand by it.
If you're on IMDb, if you could go along and find I Survived a Zombie Holocaust and give us a 10-star review, it takes 1 second. You just use your Facebook account to log in, imdb.com, and search for us. Give us 10 stars. That would really help because we've got to claw our way back to the Black Sheep level.
He went on to direct Under the Mountain, which was one of the biggest budgeted New Zealand films of all time. I went on to direct Older.
the lowest budget.
One of the
feature
lowest
film
budgeted
of all time.
films of all time.
One of the lowest budgeted feature films of all time.
That's in New Zealand.
$7,000.
That's actually all of this is true.
I bet my love of my lazy boy and stuff probably
lower budget.
presumably had the same or lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of My Love and My Lazy Boy, they've just dropped a trailer and you can go and watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it on Bloody Disgusting. They've done a review on the Bloody Disgusting, which is a famous horror film website, bloodydisgusting.com, I guess. Anyway, My Love and My Lazy Boy is what I call it. That's what it's probably, as far as I'm aware, is going to be known as outside of America. But in America, it's called Killer Sofa. So if you're interested in a horror comedy film about a killer sofa that stalks a woman and kills people, starring the Nevs, or co-starring or something, me, go check out the trailer for Killer Sofa. Now, I have already shared that today on the Guy and Harley Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. So you can go see it there on our timeline if you haven't seen it yet. It's a good trailer. I like it. Yeah. Shout out Bernie Rao, Sifty One Fifty Listener, who made that film. I got my role in that film thanks to the Guy and Harley podcast, because I said on the show that I'm a desperate loser. I need roles. And then Bernie Rao and Logan Marshall both got in touch with me. And now I've developed very fruitful relationships with both of them.
In fact, they've really provided you with all your work.
I've acted in like 5 productions for Logan Marshall now, and 1 feature film for Bernie Rao, and that feature film is now being distributed in all sorts of places across the world, and is getting a lot of interest online.
Well, look, here's the thing, Bernie, and I actually...
This podcast is getting me work.
I had the good fortune to catch up with Bernie the other day, and in fact, hooked me up with quite a lucrative job.
Oh.
But I had a chat with him. He gave me some great info on sort of his distribution and what he's doing, and he's actually made another 2 feature films since My Love and My Lazy Boy, which have not been released yet. One is in post-production and one is completed but hasn't gone out on its various channels through its distributor.
Yeah.
And Bernie, come on, bro, you need Harley Neville back for the next one.
Yeah.
In one of these foreign films, because they're both foreign films.
But wait, hasn't he shot them already?
Yeah, but I'm saying for the next one.
Oh, the next one. His
Marvel
one.
Well, the third part in the trilogy, let's think a little smaller scale.
Oh.
The third one in the trilogy, fly us over there.
Yeah.
No expenses paid.
Yeah.
You need to, because we can be the bad white guys in it.
Yeah.
And
where did you say they're filming? What country? We don't know yet. This is a fictional,
the
made-up
one,
film.
I'm not sure where the third one is.
So it could be it. Right. Okay.
So, yeah, that's because I also act.
No, this is definitely...
I've been... I was fired by my agent, but just ignore that. That's not because I'm a bad actor. And I could definitely play, because I've got a mullet, I've got a certain look, I could definitely play an evil white henchman in one of these films that you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think we both could, and I think we'd do very well.
Yeah.
Because you need some gaijin to fuck up, basically. And that's us.
Well, yeah, we could play the bad foreigners.
Exactly.
The bad foreign dudes. And I'd really love to get into like a Mexican novella type thing and play like a DEA agent or something like that, or a tourist or something.
Oh, we'd be great as dual DEA agents.
Yeah. Wellington City Rubbish Police. I'd be Topper Gun and you'd be martial law. And
if you want to see a preview of what we could do,
go check out. Go look at Wellington City Rubbish Police on YouTube and go check that out. We had somebody, Scare Holmes, on the live stream, asked us if this is a religious show, and it's listened to religiously by the Sifty 150, but it is not a religious show. And the reason why he asks is because I called this episode on the live stream. I just have to make up a name with having no idea what we're going to talk about. So I called this particular episode "Life Without Jesus," which for me was really a reflection on saying that this shitty life that we lead. This dismal existence, that this is what life without Jesus is like. This is sort of that's the angle I'm going for there. Yeah, because they're
It's great being an atheist.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
great.
great.
It just brings so much joy. Like, you're so much better off. Like,
Well,
zero complaints.
I have this gaping hole inside of me, and I try to fill it up with beer or drugs or, sex and, social media and cell phones. I try to fill this hole of mine up with all of that stuff. But really, that hole, we all know, that's where Jesus goes.
Yeah.
Right? But I haven't reached my Jesus. I haven't come back to Jesus yet, and so I'm sort of not at that stage in my life. So this is my sinner cycle. I'm in my sinner cycle.
You haven't reached your come to Jesus.
No, I'm not a born again Christian. No, I'm an aborted Christian.
Abort again.
Yeah, I'm an abort again Christian. Maybe that's the name. I'm an abort again Christian. Now, speaking of lucrative jobs.
Yep, like that. The chance of a lifetime that you pass it up. Yep.
Yeah. So speaking of that. Let's in the interest of saving my career, let's not refer to this festival by name apart from when we're promoting it and telling people to go to it.
Okay.
So let's not name this festival any more than it needs to be named. We'll just call it the festival apart from when we're going to promote it, right? Now, it's not just about protecting the festival from anything we might say and they might be associated with. It's also about protecting the artistic integrity of the Guy and Harley podcast, because I want to be able to say whatever the hell I want and tell work stories and so on without, any sorts of issues. So yes, anyway, I need an assistant for my job working at this film festival. And so, with that disclaimer in place, I just wanted to say that I hired a pretty young thing, the type that looks great bent over in a pair of ripped Daisy Dukes, if you know what I mean, guys, Beautiful, long, grey hair, shaped into a mullet with a wrestler's physique. So I'm hiring Guy to help me.
So in case you're wondering where I'm at, I've become Harley's driver.
So this is my chauffeur. This is
in case you're curious what's going on with me, I'm Harley's driver now.
Yeah.
I'm officially employed as his driver. So...
Yeah, it's great for me because I've always had this fantasy about being the boss and fucking my assistant, so I reckon this is probably actually my best chance yet, I reckon. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So that is going to be exciting though. Guy is helping me to sort of do my job at this film festival. And it's going to involve a lot of looking after people and showing them a good time, basically, and introducing them to filmmakers and taking them to parties and events and all of that type of thing. And it's actually going to be a really fun job. More fun for you than for me. But it's still very fun for me. I mean, it was a very fun job, but it's more stress for me as well. But your position is pretty low stress as well. It's low stress and good fun. You basically just got to. This is what you're doing is my favorite. Last year I did both jobs. That's why I need an assistant this year. But what you're doing is the fun part of the job that I really enjoyed doing last year. Of basically just hanging out with these cool international filmmakers, networking, introducing them to my friends. Getting a whole bunch of social media photos and like going to parties and events. It was awesome.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Although, unfortunately, I have been dragged into jury duty.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning of this
which could
job.
conflict, which hopefully won't conflict, but could conflict with some of the airport pickups.
Yeah. Jury duty is...
I would love to. I Googled it. I was like, how do I become a jury member? I want to. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, but even you, like, at that time that I was called up for it, would not do it. You'd put it off.
Well, if it was during the festival, yeah.
So, that's the that, like, I've never been called up for jury duty, but obviously it had to happen at some point. It has happened. The timing is kind of okay because it's in my term break from my teaching, so it's kind of like, well, but this whole concept of jury duty is very flawed in the sense that in my head, I was like, cool, so I go to jury duty and I get paid by my work for jury duty.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too, to be honest. I thought it was like...
That's how it works, I thought.
Yeah, well, me too. I was like, oh yeah, you get a bit of...
The actual reality is
Yeah.
only if in your contract...
You've got that in there.
Yeah, which none of my fucking contracts have ever said that. And so, like, now some jobs may be kind of lenient or, you know, kind of like... You could maybe convince your employer that potentially, yeah, sure, okay, we'll pay for that week. Maybe. But they're absolutely under no obligation to. And if they're not under obligation to, you get paid basically fucking $40 a day. And I'm just like, who are these loser jurors that are going and getting paid $40 a fucking day? They got nothing better to do for a whole fucking week. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like,
well,
are you taking annual leave to go and do jury duty?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, it is quality shit. Imagine, but I guess that's your civic duty, right? As in, like, every now and then, if you're the unlucky one that, you know, draws that ballot, it's like, well,
I also have
someone's got to
You're right,
do it, you know? There's criminals and we need to punish them.
I also have a civic duty to pay my rent.
Well, yeah, certainly you'd think that they would at least go, all right, we're going to cover 1 week's rent for you, or
something,
you know, or like we'll cover 1 week's rent up to the cost of whatever, $150 or something like that. Even if it's not the full rent, it's like, okay, cool, or, you know, whatever it is. Plus your $40 a day, which is basically like per diems and all that stuff.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's your fucking coffees trying to stay awake through it.
Well, you'll probably learn something interesing. You might get traumatized by something, though, depending on what kind of horrible crime.
Well, what I'm really hoping is
an open and shut case with something easy.
Well, yes, that's my second.
You're just going to be like, guilty, let's go. I've got places to be. I've got to work on the festival. Guilty.
I've got some editing to do.
Send him to jail.
No, so what I'm hoping is it's open and shut case, so it only lasts like a day or two.
Why don't you just say something racist or controversial now on the show, and then we can send them this, and they'll be like, he's not suitable.
Well, unfortunately,
he's not suitable.
If I were to do
I'm just going to send them the misogyny episode.
Yeah, just send them that.
I'm going to send them the episode from the Will podcast.
Just send them that. But unfortunately, what I'm hoping is this.
Yeah.
I've got a certain look. I look like a certain type of person.
You look like you should be on the other side of the dock.
Exactly. That may be involved in criminal activities.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping this works in my favor because basically you all go up in front of the lawyers.
Yeah.
And they go, they kind of either let you go up.
Yeah.
Or they're like...
You should wear like a singlet. And
I'll try and look as white trash as possible.
Yeah. Like make sure your tattoos are out.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoos.
Yeah, this is the problem. So this could work. So... My plan is obviously they go, this is not an upstanding member of society.
Yeah.
So, and they immediately vote me down. Then I'm done. I'm good. I'm out of there. I'm fucking gone. I don't have to worry about it. That's the best case scenario.
Well, if those jurors know anything about anything, they'll know that people with tattoos are bad people. And they'll
with
see
mullets.
you.
Tattoos and mullets.
And they'll see you and they'll go, get rid of them.
Let's not forget mullets.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really hoping. The second one is the open and shut case.
Yeah,
the worst one is that the case goes on for a week. And in fact...
Well, it could go on for months, couldn't it?
Well, no.
If you get a high-profile killer...
Yeah. What they've said is there's two cases it could be.
Yeah.
One is...
obviously you can't talk about, I guess.
One is for a week. Okay. Well, they haven't told me what they are.
Yeah, okay.
You only find out when you go there.
Okay.
So one is for a week and one is for 2 weeks. Now, I will do the 1 week one. If it's a 2 week one, I'm getting that letter.
Yeah.
Because I ain't taking fucking 2 weeks for this shit.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I'm only semi-employed at the moment, so I could totally do jury duty.
Yeah. But it was me.
It was classic. I just Harley Neville my way through.
I know.
And you just guy pigged in it.
And I just fucking guy pigged in it until fucking jury duty on my only time off. Brilliant.
Well, I think you'll probably learn something. It'll probably be quite interesting. I reckon you'll pick something up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of picking things up.
Yeah.
What I have not...
Oh, hang on. We'll stop a wee second. Skier Holmes on the live stream wants to know where we're at. We're from New Zealand, homie. And then...
The DA thinks they can manipulate you.
All right, so hang on. This guy must be in America. He says, nah, don't look like white trash. The DA thinks, something attorney, I guess, thinks they can manipulate you.
Defense attorney.
As in they think because you look like white trash that they can manipulate you easily.
Well, that's what I did. I had this thought.
He says he had to go through this shit, or he or she had to do this shit back in the day, back in 2004, and didn't get paid because they had their own business, so they couldn't do the get leave thing.
Well, that's the problem, right? So what I'm worried about is the white trash thing backfiring, and they're like, this guy is this man's who's being convicted's kin.
Oh yeah,
he's a white trash
he's
brother.
A white trash guy.
So
we'll get him in.
So we'll get him in because he's gonna upvote him.
Yeah, or upvote him. Well, it's not being chosen by the sides of the lawyers though. It's been chosen. It's not. Is it?
It is.
The lawyers choosing.
Yeah.
Based off, so they walk in and they go, based off looks, we're going to choose these goobers here, and I guess some sort of profile of you.
Yep.
And we're going to choose these goobers here. For our jury.
And I think they have
the defense lawyers gets to choose that.
I think they both have a certain amount of choices, if that makes sense. So like
that's really fucked. I thought it would just be like, I don't know, it was a random ballot or something, but.
Well,
or the judge deciding or something.
No, I don't think so. I mean, look, I could be wrong.
I guess it's a way of keeping it open and honest, right? You kind of
it could, because there's the thing. You go, crazy old cat lady. I'm not sure she's going to be very good for my case.
Yeah,
you know, like quiet Asian man. Okay, he seems trustworthy. He'll give a good decision.
Right.
Crazy guy with mullet. Oh, he looks like a criminal. This guy's a criminal. He might help our cause. Or the other lawyer being like, but I don't know. Look, I could be wrong. It could be only one of the lawyers.
Maybe you just don't want to stand out at all. Maybe you should be as bland as possible. Just wear like a button-up shirt and like your big boy shoes. Put on your big boy shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And just go for like a real bland, middle kind of class, middle management type look. It'll be difficult with the mullet though.
Yeah.
You'll never pull it off.
No. And the chops really will also.
The chops that you're eating in the courtroom.
It's dad joke number 1 in case anyone is keeping count.
Shout out to Nico Medill, the artistic recluse. Shout out to Liam Hegarty, the Melbourne punk rocker. Chuck Black, you again, the benevolent YouTuber. Sam Wheeler, the gifted creator who's doing over exciting things over in Australia at the moment. And Bevan Reed, the steadfast friend. Shout out to Mr. Cool22, who is a colleague of mine, and Had a Life as well, who's also a colleague. All these people have been tuning in, obviously. So shout out to all you dudes. And there's others out there, Wazza, Mrs. Wazza, all those people. You and I are worse. We're not even never wazzers, right? Right? We haven't made it, and we are not even never wazzers. And to be a never wazzer, first you've got to be a wazzer, right? Shout out wazzer.
It's a never gonna be's.
Yeah, never gonna be's. Liam Hegarty had some feedback from the previous episode as well. Yep. Other than that, we looked drunk and that it was brutal. He also said the shitting stories were gold. So
right.
That's good. We were onto something good for that first hour.
Yeah. I can't actually remember. I just remember the fart in the elevator.
And shitting in the ensuite and so on.
Oh, yeah. That was real. That was real.
Speaking of Wazza, by the way, there was also the review last week I said the review last week was about the dick jokes and liking dick jokes. I thought it was from Gary from the Kiwi Mana Buzz podcast. In reality, I misread that somehow. It wasn't Gary's review that gave us a 5-star review and said they still like dick jokes. It was actually Wazza's review. So shout out Wazza.
We should I'll just quickly mention that I've now almost gone a full month without internet.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I got internet on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not an animal. But guess what? It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it fucking shit. Yeah. Right? And then
by the time the internet comes on, you're only going to have like a month of internet and you'll be moving again. And you'll have to pay all the the setup stuff and all that.
And so there was this whole fiber debacle at my...
living like a fucking caveman.
At the
Suicide Arms.
At the Suicide Arms, where they can get fiber, but they don't want fiber because the drab concrete former motel rooms... would look somehow worse with some cabling running up the shit-stained fucking paint-peeling walls.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Jesus. But anyway, so the whole fiber thing was... But then there's been this whole other incident with the the place that I tried to sign up with. And so they cancelled my request for the internet and my request to switch power to them.
So are you just going to just not bother?
No, you can't not, like, this is getting serious, bro.
Yeah, but if you're going to move again anyway,
like,
why not just
do
the moving?
I'm like,
because I need the fucking internet to find a house.
Yeah.
You idiot.
I'm like a man in the desert, like just searching, desperate for water, but water is the internet.
Yeah.
And there's not a drop to drink. And so I had this whole big thing, and they're like, oh yeah, we cancelled it. And it's like, you fucking what?
You did what, mate?
I never authorized that. They're like, yeah, that's crazy.
You don't get to authorize cancelling, right? They just must have chosen to cancel it. They're like, fuck all this shit. It's too much work.
But they cancelled everything. They cancelled my basically sign up. And the only way that I found out this is when my old power company charged me an exorbitant amount for power for that month, which would be much cheaper. And that's how I found out. I was like, so wait, I'm waiting for the internet, but I'm fucking not, because the internet has been cancelled.
Yeah.
And anyway,
so you've just been waiting for death.
Yeah, likely I had I had some very strongly worded phone conversations where
you listen to me, you duty head.
I 100% lost my shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I always preface it with it. Hey man, look, I understand it's not your fault, right?
Fuck you.
Exactly.
Fix this shit.
Honestly, before swearing my head off,
yeah,
and absolutely making him or she both feel terrible,
yeah,
right?
Cry. You made them cry.
I made them cry a little bit for sure. Like after their experience with me, that day and possibly week was ruined.
Yeah.
So it's not just you, Harley. It's not just you.
Well, it's not even me, man. My move went real smooth. I had no issue with everything was all good with my move. Very, very smooth.
So
no issues. Do you know how much in the end, do you know how much it cost me to get two guys in a truck to move my shit from my old house to my new house and drop it and carry it in and out for me? $130. That's what I got it for in the end.
And I paid originally for the truck that I crashed or scraped the top off.
Yeah.
120.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 125.
Yeah. $10.
Obviously before I had to pay the fucking $500 excess and fucking God knows what.
Yeah.
But anyway, this not having internet is serious, bro.
Well, it is. It should be a basic human right, really, shouldn't it? At this day and age.
And I don't understand how we all survived before it. Or even how we survived with shit internet. It seems very foreign to me.
Yeah, well, millennials listening though are like, "Shut up, old man." They're like, "You think you know about the internet? I was born you just inherited the internet. Yeah. I was born in the internet, molded by it, shaped by it." I didn't really try to do his voice then, but I should have. He's more. Can you do it? He's more English. He's like, I was molded by the internet. Shaped by it.
Bane. Oh, he's like kind of. I'm trying to think of some of the other quotes, the Bane quotes.
Well, shout out to Ink Guy.
I was born in fear.
That's his voice. I was born in the internet. Molded by it.
Yeah, molded by it.
Yeah, you're better at it than me. Inked Guy 2, shout out to our two new followers, Scare Holmes and Inked Guy 2. Inked Guy 2 was follower number 100. So that's pretty good, and we were aiming for 100. I've got a graphic at the top of the screen that says follower goal for the episode. Thanks. Shout out to him. And if you guys listening on the podcast have not gone and found us on Twitch and checked out the show live, you can go twitch.com/Pigville and see it all unravel before your very eyes instead of just listening later.
On that note,
yeah,
we should probably go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's many things at play here.
Yeah.
I've had 4 hours sleep.
Right.
I'm not so worried about that.
Okay.
I did say I'd be back at 9 p.m.
To the boss.
The boss.
Yeah. But she's watching on the live stream probably.
The boss.
No, she doesn't have the internet.
No, she doesn't.
So we haven't even spoken about this. Your girlfriend has finally, for months and months and months, this show
for a year,
this show has featured Guy Pigden with his lover, his wind and what the fuck is it from Game of Thrones? His
Moon and Stars.
Moon and Stars.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sun and Moon or whatever.
My
the fuck
wind
it is.
and farts.
Yeah.
Or whatever. His Moon and Stars, his Sun and Moon, over on the other side of the world. And then in between this episode and the last episode, she has finally returned.
Finally, the girlfriend has come back
See, guys, she wasn't made up.
to New Zealand. It's another wrestling reference.
Yeah, we deduced that
Okay, thank
from
you.
the commentator
Thank
voice.
you very much.
Yeah.
So yes, she's back. And so what does this mean?
Yeah.
Well, what doesn't it mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
So it means you got to be back from the podcast by 9 p.m. because you've got a curfew now.
I mean, it means that I could get in deep trouble if I tarry too long. Oh,
Yeah.
imagine if you listen to your girlfriend. What a loser.
Why don't listen to your girlfriend, guy?
So yes, I probably better get back
Right,
before the gloves come off.
Well, all right. It's just that I was going to say that, like my ex 3 times removed is engaged now.
Oh, what?
Yeah, my ex 3 times removed is
Wait,
engaged.
How many times removed is this?
So,
Trying to think.
3 times removed. So
At least she didn't ghost you. 6 times removed didn't ghost you on the fucking internet.
is that
ban
did,
you.
that did that happen to you?
Well, she.
Six time removed.
So I don't know if she's 6. I'm just gonna count back. It's probably like.
Well, there's a few of them that have ghosted you on the internet. Probably.
It's 5 times removed. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, and I still think about it sometimes. How she
ghosted you.
she disconnected.
Yeah.
And it's like
Does
we were
does her
cool.
name rhyme with Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve.
Bless.
Steve.
Steve.
I honestly sometimes think about her, not because I'm like, oh man, what could have been, what could have been. I'm just like, oh man, why did you do that?
Yeah, why'd you
like,
play me like that?
And I'm trying to think of I'm like, did you just decide I'm sick of seeing this shit? Did your boyfriend or husband go, why are you following this fucking
your ex-boyfriend?
What's
and
wrong
his dick
with you?
jokes on Facebook.
Was it a thing where she actually looked at the sum total of our relationship
And
and
decided
realized
it
she
left such a-
fucking hated it?
left
And
such a bitter taste in
a
her
real
mouth.
bitter taste. And she was like, you know what? This was fucking horrible. And I
Yeah.
hate this guy now.
Yeah.
And I can't decide which of those 3 things it is. I just can't decide.
Yeah.
It's eating me up inside.
Well, it's probably
And
a combination.
it is probably a combination.
Probably a combination of
the-
all of
yeah,
those
Yeah,
factors.
it is probably a combination.
Yeah.
And I had the kind of the opportunity to confront her that one time about it.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't.
Yeah.
And then she kind of pretended like she had to talk to someone else.
Yeah,
But then
and
when
then
it
just stood by
in
herself.
the corner awkwardly.
She's like, okay, I'm going to stand over here now.
But you did see the kind of the color drain from
Yeah.
her face when she saw
Well,
me.
look, man, she definitely wouldn't have wanted to talk about that stuff.
I know, that's why I didn't talk about it, but I wish that I had have because that's my only opportunity. And also, people should be confronted. People should be confronted. What have we learned on this podcast? If things go unspoken, relationships break
Sour.
down.
They do. They
sour.
sour. They
So-
turn to sour dick cheese.
So, what I'm saying is, I just wanted to call her on it. I just wanted to just go right then and there, like, hey
Yeah.
man, why did you just, no, we're all cool, but why did you just, tap out of all that shit? What was the deal? And just make her explain it, because
Yeah.
no one ever has to explain themselves anymore.
No.
They
Well,
just fuck off.
Well, I do remember one hilarious reason why she may or may not want to hang out with you anymore. There was I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not, though. So, but my ex 3 times removed is engaged.
Yeah,
and we had a great relationship. Her name rhymes with Randy.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Steve and Randy.
Steve and Randy, our ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
So my ex, 3 times removed, Randy, is now engaged to be married, and we had a great relationship, and then due to distance, we broke up. Mr. Cool 22 has just arrived, just to catch the end of the show. Fuck, the show always goes viral right at the end. Look, we've got 5 viewers. We're going viral. Mum! Mum! We're going viral! I know, it is cool! I love my mum. Anyway, so my ex 3 times removed, Randy, is engaged to be married, and we did have this good relationship, and I always kind of saw her as someone that I'd be happy to go back to if the stars aligned, but we were sort of in different parts of the world, and but she was really my last hope now.
Yeah, she was your backup.
Yeah, well, she was just the final chance. There was not even a backup
of happiness.
It was like exactly. All of my exes now are either pregnant or married, or got kids and all that type of stuff,
or hate your guts.
That's not true. I'm friends with all of them. Actually, I've got very positive relationships with all of my exes for the most part. Must be doing something right. Now, apart from them all ending, of course. Anyway, so that means I'm doomed to have casual sex. That's it. That's it. I'm doomed. That's the end game.
You're doomed to have casual sex for well, not for the rest of your life. Obviously, you become impotent
at
shortly.
I'll become impotent. Well, yeah, exactly.
At the age of 45 or so.
Time's ticking down towards that impotence. So I mean, I'm less and less excited when I do have sex, as well. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I'm having a fling with this person, and it's only a fling because they don't want to be with you afterwards, because your dick game's too poor. But you would go to them, you would go to them.
Yeah.
But then there's the other type of one night stand where you sort of finish up and you're like, keep the change, you filthy animal, and just left to leave,
Saying that it was so good, you mean?
Well, I guess saying that you just don't, you just leave, you just don't even care.
Right.
And just calling him filthy animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to avoid those behaviors.
Try.
Now listen.
Being the operative word.
Now, there's one more thing that we have to do before you can leave, Guy. And this is from last week's episode. Mr. Cool 22 was on the podcast, and before the fight began, he was on the live stream, and before the fight began, he was like, how long are you guys going to be on? I've got a surprise for you. Yeah. And I speculated that it might be a gang of roving thugs, Twitch thugs, as they do. They rove through, these Mongolian Twitch thugs that come in on their horses. And it turns out that it's Mr. Cool 22. They really wanted us to open this thing on Dropbox.
Yes.
Right? And I was like, well, I'm not opening this fucking thing on Dropbox. I'm not a moron. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. It could be some sort of something bad that I should... fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, I clicked on it anyway. Here we go. Hang on, what's this? Oh, no. So he sent us a show... He sent us something. Term 2 chat show. Oh, God. It's 15 minutes long. We definitely can't watch all of this. I think I remember making this, though. Okay, so... Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anne Stewart, and welcome to the chat show. I can't play this. I need to play it... Okay, here's the issue. I need to have it set up so that I can play this so that the Twitch people can see it.
Yeah.
And maybe the listeners can listen to it somehow as well. So thanks for all the fucking editing, Mr. Cool 22. But we will skip through to the bit that's got me in it.
Okay.
You and me in it. That's right. Yeah, you were there. Okay, this is from Cow TV, 10 years ago or something. Well, more.
How are you? I'm alright.
Good. How are you?
So, Harley, I've heard you just recently came back from Thailand. What are you doing over there? I did. I went with my girlfriend for a wedding.
The sync's all out. Okay, this actually wasn't even that long ago.
This was like fucking a year ago.
Well, it was
like 3 years ago.
I went to Thailand with my ex-girlfriend, who shall remain unnamed. It was probably about 4 years ago, or something like that, or more. It was in the house that I first lived in when I very first moved to Auckland. But yes, anyway, it's a chat show that I'll have to figure out how to get the audio from and play a little bit for the podcast.
Yeah. It's in 4:3.
It's in 4:3, and the audio's way out of sync.
We're telling the story of how we started making movies.
So it was in front of a live audience, like a live audience of students somewhere, and I thought it was in Dunedin.
No,
it was up here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like Cow TV or something.
But I mean...
So I wonder if Mr. Cool 22, who is now a colleague of mine and arguably a superior of mine...
arguably your boss.
I wonder if he was in that... I guess I have to assume he was in that class, presumably. So they say it's a proud moment when the master, when the student surpasses the master.
Yeah.
And I am proud of you, Mr. Cool 22, for surpassing the master and becoming a higher ranked broadcaster than me.
Well, what's scary is when you, because
And it was in 2014 is the answer.
I sort of very vaguely remember that, like really just tickling at the back of my mind, but hardly.
Yeah.
And then we also met.
We were
someone-
high as fuck.
We met someone on the weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, I had a long conversation with you on an airplane flight from Dunedin, about the zombie film, and I was in your zombie film."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, really?
okay, that's used to be."
Yeah.
Which just goes to
But
show.
you can't memorize every face.
Well, but surely don't you think like of that sort of? It wasn't like, "Hey, I just saw you in the street. I said hello."
no, you
one
had a
time."
big conversation. But on a plane, if
On
you
a
think
plane.
about a plane, right, you're not sitting across from each other. You're sitting beside each other, and it's weird to look too much to the person. So you would have been having that conversation while facing the seat in front of you.
Well, also, I would
Both of you would have been facing the seat
I
in
would have
front
been
of you.
trying to ignore him because
Yeah, you'd also be like, "Can you shut up? I'm trying to watch a fucking movie."
"Yeah, can you see up the laptop is out here,
Yeah.
brother?"
Mm.
He was a super nice guy, by the way. But
Yeah.
I just thought, like, sometimes it's scary when, I guess, they remember this whole incident that happened,
Mm.
and it literally, like, you don't even recognize their face.
Mm.
It's the price of fame, brother.
It is. It's the price of fame.
Price of being a big shot.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, if you've got to go,
I've got to go.
then you've got to
I'm
go.
dead meat.
If the boss calls, you run. If the boss says jump, you say how high.
If the boss says come back before 9 p.m., I come back at 9:15 and grovel and make apologies.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in a situation like I am right now with my girlfriend 5 times removed where she ghosts me in another 5 years.
Now, this episode of the Guy and Harley podcast was proudly brought to you by Ramfurly Draft, the beer that we've been drinking tonight, which Guy hates.
Look,
I thought he wasn't even going to drink it. I had a
let
whole
me tell you,
peer pressure thing I was going to do.
I was so reluctant to drink this beer because it is one of the most disgusting beers known to man.
It's not true. It's delicious. Delicious drop. Ramfurly Draft.
So normally I would have finished the first beer within seconds of starting the podcast. In this instance, I have not even got through that first can. And not only that, I didn't even start it out of reluctance. The only reason that I had to drink from it was because my throat was a bit dry and I've just been to the gym,
Parched.
so I'm kind of thirsty.
Yeah.
And so that was the only for me.
I was really tempted just to pour these Ramfurly Drafts into this other bottle I have for a beer
As a
called
joke.
Garage Project. No, and just not tell you. And you would have been like, "Yum, this beer's really good, man."
I think
And I would have been like, "Yeah, bro, good. It's the new one from Garage Project."
I would have gone, this beer tastes like the South Island, and not in a good way.
This beer tastes like being a 14-year-old in the South Island.
Yeah.
Which is where we got it from. Okay, we are wrapping it up. Int Guy 2 also said he's going to go check out all our movies and stuff, and that he just stumbled upon this podcast by mistake on Twitch, and he's followed us now. He's follower number 100, and he's going to go check out all our shit. So thanks, mate. I do appreciate that. Go to YouTube and search for Pigville and the number 2, Pigville 2, and you'll find us there, and you can watch a wee doco about us and all sorts of bits and pieces. To all of the Sifty 150 listeners, I'm glad you stuck with us through that difficult episode, but it's onward and upward here. Where it's all everything's all good.
Smooth sailing, brother.
Sailing. And we've got plans. We had our meeting. It was very productive. And I might be going to LA in a couple of weeks, or a couple of months. We should talk about that next episode.
Yeah.
Yes, so anyway, follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/Pigville. Find us on YouTube. The Guy and Harley podcast is on Facebook, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. Go there and follow us, and you can see all the links to all the bits and pieces that we talk about, including the My Lover, My Lazy Boy trailer, which just got released.
Also, if you're in the Auckland area this weekend, which is Saturday the 7th of September, my close personal friend Alex Savage will be wrestling at Kelston Intermediate. It's part of his tag team, SAS, Tag Team Champions of New Zealand currently.
All right.
So check that out if you feel like going to see a awesome live event.
A wrestler and a poet walk into a bar. And they start a podcast, and it's a lot of fun. It's good. So that's what this show's about. Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week.
See you later.
All right, now this part of the show is just for the live streamers, and it's called the post-coital cuddle. So post-coital cuddle, this is just for you, Int Guy 2, and whoever else. Fuck my alarm. Okay, good. Okay, cool. But unfortunately, it'll be a very short episode of the post-coital cuddle because Gary's got to go. So thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we will catch you dudes next week, hopefully, or soon after.